Good afternoon. Hope you are all doing fine and well during this pandemic. Please take care of your family, friends, and follow Government of India rules, regulations, and procedures. See, today in this topic, I'm going to cover about five events. One is China celebrating 100 years of its foundation of Communist Party, North Korea-China relations, Delta virus, then Taliban return in assertive way in Afghanistan. Lastly, India's economic development in the fifth quarterly report. Friends, China Communist Party got founded in 1921 and they are celebrating the 100 years of their foundation. From a poor, underdeveloped, fragmented country, they have become one of the most powerful country. They said they had undergone the humiliation in history by foreigners and others. Today, though Mao Zedong he founded the China Communist Party, Deng Xiaoping economically developed them, and Xi Jinping asserted the leadership. It is said. So, the China and this in the last 100 years of Communist Party rule, only three leaders are highlighted: Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping, and Xi Jinping. See, Mao said very clearly, political power always comes through gun. So the Chinese Communist Party means no democracy, no human rights, no freedom, no dissent, and no freedom of press. It's all economic development at the cost of people. So they want to focus and put this ideology as an alternative to the world. Where Soviet Union collapsed in the communism, there China has won as a factory of the world through diplomacy and through lot of bargains. As Sun Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, had said, the art of winning the war is subdue the enemy without fight, by fear. So they have exercised this very well in Southeast Asia. They have controlled water, they controlled air, they have taken out lands, and they are doing depth-up diplomacy, and they are showing that we have got humiliation, we have suffered. So you have to accept our leadership. So when we read as a student of political science in Seoul National University, Korea, when we studied politics of China, the authority, Confucian authority came from the top to down. Senior, junior, big state, small state has to become vessels. They have to listen to them. That one they want to impose throughout the world. See, their example as an example, Chinese President Xi Jinping is saying that I want to exercise my authority if somebody comes to trouble me. So he is saying that not peaceful rights, peaceful coexistence, peacefulness, but I want to exercise, I want to authorize that type of thing. Example is near the Indian border of in the India-China border, they have put surface-to-air missiles. Then they are doing summer training just to make the situation more tense. Then they are doing infrastructure in Rudlok in Tibet and Zhang River in Aksai Chin. So China has become not a peaceful country but a threat to the world. There is no democracy, no human rights, one party rule, and the China coronavirus leak was a very great example where Chinese leadership can hide anything and they don't listen to the world bodies. Even against Philippines, they did not listen to the United Nations International Court of Justice regulations or the judgment on the seas. Then the aging population among them and the way they are doing the ethnic cleansing, cultural genocide in Xinjiang province, and also Tibet is a very great example. So the religion, thoughts, behavior, culture, everything has been subdued. So China has to be more peaceful and more coexistence, more co-development than assertion. So everybody in the Chinese border want peace, but if China asserts, it will be very dangerous for the world. So second thing I want to discuss is about North Korea. See, North Korea is already suffering from major flood damage last year, and there's a very big pandemic, and they have closed their border with China. So now, due to because the mentality of North Korea now is China is very powerful. They're a superpower. They are a vassal state, and though they may be independent, they have to listen to them. With that type of attitude and the mindset, now they are saying that okay, I'll go with North Korea. See, the president. Donald Trump or even President Joe Biden, there was some sort of exercise to bring them to the mainstream. And the President Moon is trying, Moon Jae-in of South Korea is trying to bring them to the mainstream. So it is for the North Korea not to get trapped by the Chinese diplomacy, but come to the mainstream in democracy and development. Thirdly, I'm going to talk about the third point is about Delta virus, which is getting spread in US and UK and Australia also, and every nation has to be very careful. Though Moderna or Pfizer or AstraZeneca, Johnson and Johnson medicines can check them, so it has to be world has to be very careful, because in an interconnected, interdependent, interlinked world, nothing can be taken as granted, and everybody should try to contain these viruses. One good news is one country says we have wiped malaria. That's good. But in the same way, any virus in the future has to be wiped. So then next point is about the Taliban. So the Taliban is getting very powerful. Though there was a lot of discussions in Doha that US they will guarantee the Afghan government not to do any kill or do any military exercise. They will be peaceful and they will do coexistence. But they have become very assertive. They have become very militarization, and there is a very big threat for the women's right, children's right, and they are going to take the Afghanistan more backward. And what is the condition of minorities in Afghanistan? It will be much more deplorable. So for now, Afghanistan, which wanted to make an alternative, we have to see. So the direct threat, Pakistan ISI has to understand is the next threat for is the Pakistan. After that, they can come to Kashmir, to any part of India, and disturb peace and security here. And one very important thing is anybody who has gone from India who went and joined ISIS to fight, they should never be brought back to India, because they're not citizen of India. They went to fight for a caliphate and they were a citizen of ISIS that time. So they should not be allowed to come to India. They should be prosecuted under the laws of Afghanistan or Syria, any country where they have been caught. So lastly, one good news was the Indian finance minister said that finance minister also said, and also in the last meeting they said that we have a very good economic development in the first from January to March. That's a very good news. So and there is a lot of economic development happening in India. It's a great news. So India's economic development has to go at peak, and $5 trillion economic dream is not to be forgotten. And so if China can make 10,000 per capita income, why not India? And also our targets, our aspirations, our inspirations has to go forward. So China is a threat, but Chinese economic development, factor of the world, whatever they are doing in the field of semiconductors, what they are doing in the field of electric battery or rare earth materials, and also next generation technologies, we have to cooperate, or if we have to take it as a forward, and we have to develop ourselves, and we have to show it to the world. But one very big thing what we have understood now is China has been designated, and China has been said to be the #1 threat for India. So Pakistan has to mend its way, and it should start concentrating on itself, then Indian affairs. So China has to live with India, because as a former Prime Minister Vajpayee said, we can change anybody in the world, not our neighbors. In the same way, China has to, you have your own Islam, you have your own economic development, but you should not become a threat to anybody. Anyhow, thank you very much. And see you next week with my more comments on what happens in this week. Thank you.